Alright, you guys, so with today being the last day of the 2010 decade, I thought I'd take some time to just share my thoughts on what this past decade has done in terms of but in terms of animation, television, and just pop culture. So this video is probably going to be a while. So let's start from the beginning, shall we? Now wow, guys, let's just start out by saying it's finally the beginning of a new decade. Which what that hopefully will mean for 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 all of us out there is the 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 entire slate of this past decade as of tonight at midnight will be wiped away. And yeah, guys, I guess wow, so many important things happened in this decade, but but for our purposes, let's start with the what what what. Let's start from the most negative thing that happened and work our way up. And that is the fact that Adventure Time regular show entered Cartoon Network. Now guys, I, 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 I know this video may get like a whole bunch of thumbs down for me saying that, but truly from my heart of hearts, to me, Adventure Time and regular show do not capture the true spirit of any form of revival for Cartoon Network. In fact, in fact, this was probably Cartoon Network's darkest decade of their almost 30 years of existence. Because, guys, nothing truly innovative, in my opinion, happened throughout this entire decade. If anything, this was the continued dark ages of Cartoon Network for me, because while I get it, millions and millions of people fell in love with what Adventure Time, regular show, Clarence, Uncle Grandpa, Steven Universe, the original and now future, OK KO, Let's Be Heroes, and everything else. But to me, guys, Cartoon Network truly did not produce anything worthwhile after sort of the conclusion of Ben 10 Ultimate Alien, in my opinion, truly, guys. Because let's look at their track record, okay? In what terms of older engaging material did we, the older fans that are from the late 90s, what has current era and about to enter 2020 Cartoon Network era given us? Nothing. And I feel like Cartoon Network is relying on nostalgia in all the wrong ways. I mean, look no further than the Powerpuff Girls 2016 reboot, or obviously the atrocity that shall not be named, but for the purposes of this video, I'm going to name it anyway. Teen Titans Go and Thundercats Roar. But 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 I feel like that's all I wanna pick on Cartoon Network for the 2010 decade, because basically, sure, Steven, Adventure Time, and maybe OKKO, they may have touched today's generation, but truly, maybe the only thing universally that Cartoon Network has released in the current decade, and this is at, and these two examples are from Adult Swim, so they don't even count. One would be Rick and Morty, because that has truly captured the world by storm, in a way that zero Cartoon Network shows have done since the second half of the 2010s, in my opinion. And the only other positive spot that Cartoon Network did have in the later half of this decade is obviously bringing back Samurai Jack, even though it was on Adult Swim. That, to me, is the only thing that was positive about Cartoon Network over this past decade. Now, in terms of Nickelodeon, they have pretty much they pretty much abandoned everything that was strong about their classic sitcoms, but pretty much the only real, well, actually there are a ton of things that Nickelodeon did wrong in this decade. They basically did House of Anubis. They did Game Shaker, which even with the help of the legendary Kel Mitchell, I personally never found it that interesting. And truly, guys, Nickelodeon just as a whole, even though they still did incorporate things like the Loud House, like the Casa Grandes, look, the first half of this decade was truly a dark period for them, and especially with the bringing in Henry Danger, the Thundermans, the Adventures of Kid Danger, the animated series, starting off this decade with the bringing in Victorious, which in my opinion, I truly believe that Victoria just had pretty much lost her spark and everything that made her interesting after Zoe 101 was forced to end due to Jamie's pregnancy in 2008. But I will say, Hey Arnold, the Jungle Movie, Rocko's Modern Life, Static Clang, and even Invader Zim Enter the Florbus, even though those last two items did have to be finally moved over to Netflix in order for them to see the light of day, that they were truly a bunch of truly high point for Nickelodeon. Now, obviously, Nickelodeon and just the television industry lost lost a man that is responsible for truly probably the most iconic yellow sponge of our time. Unfortunately, last year the world lost the the, the legendary Steven Hillenburg to the terrible disease known as ALS, and that was truly a low point. And in my opinion, I still think millions of people around the world are feeling the shockwaves led by the fact that Steven's not here. Now, and and the last point I'll mention on Nickelodeon's end is the revival, but I'll give it a lukewarm revival at that, to Nick's legendary sitcom that started it all that. And yes, guys, the episodes I have seen of all that revival are kind of good, but I wish more of the older cast was involved on a more consistent basis. Now, in terms of a Disney Channel, really, the only two highlights I will mention are basically one that I personally don't think really was a highlight, but this video would get even more hate if I didn't mention it, and that is the creation and of Gravity Falls, which is credited, but in a lot of people's opinion, to be the best thing in some time that Disney Channel's produced. And that's completely false in my opinion. Gravity Falls is good, but probably the best thing that Disney Channel produced this decade was bringing back Uncle Scrooge in the DuckTales 2017 reboot, and obviously Disney's most recent positive connection, which is Disney Plus. That is truly a game changer in the television industry, and it has already seen, and Disney, the cable channel, has already seen a 27% ratings drop in viewership because of the massive success that Disney Plus has become. And now, guys, I'm just going to come out and say it. Marvel had one of the most successful decades in their history with the creation and of one part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And truly, guys, even though I still hold the opinion that all superhero movies or at least some of them, should stay animated. You can't deny the impact that that all of the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies, beginning with Iron Man in 2008 and ending with the Avengers Endgame this year, that was truly what a massive success. But unfortunately, also we lost the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Stan the Man Lee, which is the genius that gave us Hulk, Spider-Man, the X-Men, and Stan, and losing Stan has clearly shaken the comic book industry to its core. But also, Marvel did manage to produce some very interesting animated series in this past decade as well. Avengers Assemble, Avengers United, We Stand, and even the unfortunately short-lived Hulk and the Agents of Smash. Now, in terms of just cinematic movies, guys, in terms of animated theater releases, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Toy Story 4 is probably the biggest high point of Pixar for this last decade. In fact, they started and ended the decade with releasing Toy Story 4. So, guys, it's obvious that this past decade has been polarizing in some places, negative in a lot of places in the entertainment industry, but at the same time, classics like Frozen 1 and 2, Wreck-It Ralph, the Peanuts movie, Finding Dory, The Incredibles 2, the Addams Family 2019. These are all things that meant a lot to people within the within the end game of, if you will, of these past 10 years. Now in terms of DC Comics, I'm just going to stick solely to the animated side for this one. Justice League War will hopefully end the New 52 continuity. Hopefully, the story that began with Justice League War will hopefully finally end with Justice League Dark Apocalypse 4, which by the way, Justice League Flashpoint Paradox, Justice League Dark 1, Justice League versus the Fatal 5, Batman and Superman Apocalypse, and especially Justice League versus the Fatal 5 and Batman the Killing Joke were all highlights of the decade for me. So truly, guys, I can say for me personally, this past decade has been has mostly been positive, but overall there have been some rough patches that I'm not gonna get into this video or ever really. But there you go, guys. I'd say this past decade has earned probably like a fit like like a 72%. But, but but anyway, as a final salute, thank you 2010 decade. You, you'll be remembered for various things beyond what I mentioned in this video, and and uh, and may the 2020s be even better for everybody out there than what the 2010s have left behind for us now. Thank you guys, and keep on rocking.